Welcome back, guys. It's me, Tex Junk. Boy, have I got one for you today. You haven't seen a video this good since Mabel, the town prostitute, got in a fist fight with that outlaw Doug Caravan. Now, a lot of toy companies have done action figures based on the Old West for years. There was Johnny West, and heck, even Kenner had the real West. Today, I got one for you. The best dang cowboy action figure line since Cowboys of Moo Mesa. We're talking about the toys made by a company called Empire Toys. Well, doggy, doesn't that sound like something that came from New York City? Anyway, they made an action figure line in the mid-'70s called Legends of the Old West. I hear tell that one of them cowboy action figures even shot a kid in his sleep just for snoring. But sure, that's probably some old snake old tale. So first, let's look at the cowboys from the line. There was a cowboy that wore a derby hat. Can you believe that? Bat Masterson. He didn't have a TV show. And then there was the kid of all kids, Billy the Kid, probably the most famous kid of the Old West. And then you had Buffalo Bill. That's Buffalo Bill Cody. I'm not talking about the Dabney Coleman television show. Then we have Calvary Scott, right there with his cowboy hat. There was even Cowpoke. I'm not going to tell you how he got that nickname. And one of the most famous of all was Davy Crockett. Remember when he fought off the Indians in the basement of the Alamo? I know I sure do. And then there was Deadwood Dick. And that one, I'm really not going to explain that nickname to you. And there was one that once shared a whiskey with a horse, Jesse James. And then there was Wild Bill Hickok. What a funny name. And don't forget his best friend, Wyatt Earp. Everyone knows that legend. But it wasn't just cowboys in the line. Believe it or not, there was even a female, Annie Oakley. Probably the coolest cowgirl you ever did meet. The line also consists of engines. There was Arrowhead. Then there was Coachy, who had the famous quote, "He never met a pale skin that he didn't want to rip the nuts off of." Believe it or not, there were two Yankees, General Custer, and his right-hand man, General St. Anna. Sound like a lady name if you ask me. Now I tell you what, a cowboy ain't no good without a dang horse. So, you had to have a horse in this line, right? You had to have the cowboys ride around on something. We didn't have no motorboats. So, let's take a look at the horses for your cowboys. There was a black and white horse, and it had a saddle. There was a brown and tan horse with a black saddle. There was a brown and tan horse with a tan saddle. And even a white and brown horse with a tan saddle. And then there was just this horse, which we call horse number 5. No one will ever know the love between a cowboy and his horse. His horse. But I guess that's about the same. You know, cowboys are fun. Horses are tall. But you can't have an action figure line without play sets. So let's take a look at the plastic accessories that make action figures come alive. Oh, shucks, there's a lot of them here. There was the action-covered wagon. I've met as many a night sleeping in a wagon. What about the action stagecoach? You can't have a Western cowboy line without a stagecoach. And then there was the buckboard. I'm not even sure what that is, and I'm from the Old West. What about a fire engine? Well, in this case, a fire wagon. Speaking of wagons, there was the Pandler's wagon. This is where people will come up and try to sell you things. And then, of course, there was the town itself, Frontier Town, where you had an old general store. Maybe a bank with over $32 inside the safe. And of course, a blacksmith shop. One thing the old Western cowboys like to do was buying stuff on a blacksmith. Those make me want to befriend an Indian and a Mexican so we can play Old West right here on the floor of my cabin. Well, I want to thank you, friend, for taking the time to learn about these cowboy action figures. Remember, not all you hear about the Old West is true. We don't hate all Yankees, just the dumb ones. Oh, wait, I guess that means we hate them all. Well, I gotta get down the path. I got some sarsaparilla on the grill. We'll talk again when the blacksmith runs low on feed.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.